So you know how GPT-5 turned ChatGPT into this absolute powerhouse? Well, think of GPT 5.1 as the tune-up that makes it feel less like a rigid tool and more like a genuinely smart collaborator. When you actually enjoy talking to. Today, we're going to break down what this upgrade really is and why it changes the game under the hood. This quote, powerful but a little tense, man, it just perfectly captures the vibe of the model that came before this, GPT 5.0. It was unbelievably capable, a real beast, but talking to it could sometimes feel a little, well, strained. So, to really get why GPT 5.1 is such a big deal, we have to understand the problem it was built to solve. Let's rewind the clock a bit and talk about its predecessor, the powerful but, kind of tense GPT 5.0. And let's be clear, GPT 5.0 was a massive leap forward. It turned ChatGPT into a true frontier model that can handle some seriously complex stuff. We're talking top-tier coding help, the ability to read and make sense of huge documents, and even workflows where it could use different tools one after the other to get a job done. It was impressive. But all that power came with a catch, a kind of tension. You had users throwing everything at it, super complex math, messy code, even really deep emotional conversations. It was like a single actor being asked to play every single role in a play, all at once. And because of that, it would sometimes get stiff, a little too cautious, or give you answers that just felt off. So the solution wasn't just to build an even bigger, stronger model. Nope, it was to rethink the entire approach. And that's where this strategic split comes in, which was designed specifically to take the pressure off that one overstressed AI. Instead of one model trying to be a jack of all trades, the new architecture splits the workload. Now you've got two specialized variants that work together, each one playing to its own unique strengths. It's a total game changer. So let's meet the team. These are the two specialized halves that make up the new GPT 5.1. They're called Instant and Thinking. And this division of labor is absolutely key. On one side, you have GPT 5.1 Instant. This is your default, your go-to for everyday stuff. It's warmer, way more conversational, and it's great at just following instructions. But then you have GPT 5.1 Thinking. This is the specialist, the heavy hitter you bring in for the really tough problems. We're talking hard math, complex logic, and deep coding challenges. So the obvious question here is, okay, do I have to constantly flip a switch between these two? And the answer, thankfully, is no. It's actually a lot cleverer than that. It all works thanks to something called an auto router. You just type your request like you always do, and the system is smart enough to analyze it on the fly. It decides for itself whether you need the quick, chatty, instant model or if it needs to call in the big guns with the thinking model. But this is where it gets really cool. There's a secret sauce here that makes the default instant model so much more reliable than anything that came before it. It's called adaptive reasoning. So even the fast, conversational, instant model now has this built-in intelligence to know when a prompt is tricky. Instead of just blurting out a fast, careless answer, it knows when to pause, take a beat, and silently think through the problem first. The process is really elegant. First, it analyzes your prompt. Then, it decides which path to take. And then, it just executes. For you, this means you get the best of both worlds. You get fewer of those silly, careless errors on complex questions, but it doesn't slow down your normal everyday conversations. But this update isn't just about raw intelligence. Not at all. GPT 5.1 also delivers a huge upgrade in a totally different area, giving you real control over the AI's personality. Yeah, so unlike its predecessor, GPT 5.1 has these refined tone presets, and it's way, way better at actually sticking to your custom instructions. This means you can finally dial in a style that actually matches how you want to communicate, whether you need a super professional analyst or something a lot more quirky and creative. Okay, so let's put all the pieces together. What is the big picture shift we're seeing when we move from the powerhouse GPT 5.0 to this much more refined GPT 5.1? This table really says it all. We've gone from a single, unified model to a specialized, two-variant architecture. The reasoning isn't just powerful anymore, it's adaptive and way smarter. And that means the whole user feel changes, from powerful but stiff to smart and personable. Plus, you get a ton more control. And that is the ultimate takeaway here.
The experience is designed so you feel less like you're talking to that one stressed out actor and more like you've got this small ensemble cast ready to help out. You get that faster, more natural chat when you're just brainstorming, but you also get that deliberate, careful thinking when you're really pushing the limits on a tough problem.
And all this leaves us with a really fascinating question. For the first time, we have this incredible fine-grained control over an AI's personality. So the question is no longer just, what can we do with AI? But now it's, what kind of conversations do we truly want to have with it?